Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. I have a feeling that if any new people find me from this video, they are going to have absolutely no idea who I am, what my channel is about. If you are a returning heathen, well, you know me, I need no introduction. But I'm going to be introducing a new series of videos. This is going to be temporary. This is probably going to be over, well, I hope that it's going to be over at the end of January. So I'm starting a 100 days of comics journey, and I'm actually filming this the day after I started. So I'm going to be inserting clips in which I'm talking about how I decided to start, why I decided to do this, blah, blah, blah. So the timeline of this introduction is going to be off kilter in regards to the rest of the video. But welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Karla. I am an illustrator. I illustrate illustrations. I illustrate comic books, well, coloring books, and now, as of this year, comics as well. This is issue 1 of my series titled The Harlequin Glass. It is an indie comic, hand illustrated, hand rendered, no digital. It's all wonky, sketchy lines, and it's all black and white. So this is my book, and this 30 days of comics journey is going to follow the creation of issue number 2 and possibly a little bit of issue number 3. We'll see how much I can get done in the next 100 days. By the time this is posting, week 1 will already be over. But I just wanted to make a quick introduction. I say quick, even though this is probably, about an hour long at this point. I just wanted to make my introduction to everybody, and I wanted this to act a little bit as of a Dear Diary sort of vlog situation, because I want to follow my journey for the next 100 days. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the 100 days of comics, what it is essentially you work on your comic project for 30 minutes every single day for 100 days. And that's exactly what we're doing. I'm a workaholic. I like to hold myself accountable for what I do and what I don't do, and I'm hoping that this 100-day challenge allows me to work smarter, not harder. That's the entire impetus for me even wanting to do this, because I know that it is well within my capabilities of writing, penciling, inking, lettering, and producing an actual physical comic. I know that I can do this, but now it's a question of doing it faster, smarter, right? So we'll see what happens. This is the end of week 1 of my 100 days of comic journey. If you are new here, I don't know if you came here specifically because of the comic. Most of my content is not going to interest you, but if you subscribe, perhaps you will subscribe to keep up with my 100 days challenge. If you're working on your comic yourself, maybe we can motivate each other. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying new things. So we'll see. Thank you so much for joining me for this intro to week 1 of my 100 days of making comics challenge. My book is available as a physical copy through Amazon. Links will be down below. You can purchase it directly from my website, and you can also find links to read it for free. Yes, for free. It is available on Webtoons and Tapas as well. Links down below, and I'll see you next week. Well, what have we here? Yet another, what shall we call this? Another bout of lunacy to add to my ever-expanding list of lunacy. So as we all know by now, aside from being an illustrator and a coloring book creator, I am also adding, I suppose technically I already have added because I've already published the first issue, we are adding independent comic book writer and illustrator to the list of my skills. Is not necessarily the appropriate term, is it? But let's add it to my list of abilities. I think that's a little bit more palatable than skills. Yes. Okay, so I am embarking on my 100 days of making comics adventure, if you will. If you do not know what 100 days of making comics is, it is essentially, now I'm going to preface this by saying that I am not at all heavily involved in the indie comic book scene. I find it to be very cliquey, a bit elitist. I'm not going to say that it's true for everyone. Of course, this is a grotesquely generalized statement when I say this, but just by standing on the periphery and dipping my toes in it, I find that as a whole, the indie comic scene is filled with great people, to be sure, but there's a lot of this very toxic miasma that permeates the space, in which people tend to have very grandiose expectations of themselves, of others, to the point where you find that people agonize endlessly over their books, to the point that years go by and these people get absolutely nothing done, right? Because they're nitpicking over the quality of, oh, the eyelash on this panel doesn't look good, therefore I'm going to have to completely repencil and re-ink the entire book. And you know what? Life is short. I want to have a good time, tell some stories that are hopefully going to entertain you guys, and in the process, I enjoy drawing said stories, so I'm just going to do it for at least half an hour. That's incredibly easy to do, especially when one is working on sketches or scripting. Half an hour goes by like that. So this to me isn't going to necessarily be a difficult challenge. The reason that I'm doing this is not to challenge myself in that regard, because I know, having already released one issue, and while I'm currently in the midst of working on issue number 2, I know that it is well within my scope of production to take a book from the conception stage to production. I know that I can do that. The challenge for me is to see if actually consciously making an effort to work on it every day is going to improve my productivity, because I am the writer, I am the illustrator, I am the inker, the letterer, I am everything. And as much as I would like to outsource the work, I'm one little person, I am on a budget, I can't afford it. So I have to do everything on my own, and I don't have a circle of people around me who are interested in doing this sort of thing. So I'm on my own here. And I would like to very much speed up my productivity, because that is one area that I know that I struggle with, and I need to make a effort to improve upon. So there you have it. We are starting today. Today is October the 19th of 2020, and by the time this concludes, if my math is correct, we will be finishing what? 100 days from today is going to be January 29th of 2021. We'll see. Here we go. Day 1. I have already put in my half an hour. In fact, I've put in closer to 2 hours at this point. And today I am splicing pages together. I have to scan the pages in twice, because the pages that I am illustrating are 11 by 17. So I have to scan them on my 9 by 12 scanner in 2 parts, then I have to put them into Photoshop and splice them together, and that is what we are working on today. My God, I just enjoy piling on the work, don't I? But if it doesn't feel like a chore, then we're all right. And week 1 of my 100 days of making comics certainly did not feel like a chore. Week 1 down, 13 weeks to go. I think we can do this. I'm not intimidated. I'm not scared. I'm just producing indie comics. If this is something you do, then you understand. We're simpatico on this one. It's time-consuming, it can be difficult, it could be nerve-wracking, it could be all sorts of racking, right? But at this point, the pages of the second issue of the Harlequin glass are now spliced together. And it occurred to me that I should probably give you guys a quick introduction to this book, right? Because I went through the entire introduction of this 100 Days of Making Comics series, and I didn't even tell you what the book is about. Now, of course, in my brain, I'm assuming that you guys probably, if you are interested in what the book is even about, have likely already either checked it out on my website or you follow me on Instagram, so you already know. But if you do not fall into this category, then I'm going to give you the quick elevator pitch of the book. Actually, what I'm going to do is pull up, pardon the clickety-clack, I'm going to pull up the blurb that is available on Amazon for my book, because it is a true elevator pitch. It's all of 2 seconds. The book, by the way, is available on Amazon, so if you'd like to grab a copy, please go do so. So the pitch is as follows. Should I put on my pitch reading voice? I don't have a pitch reading voice. Okay. The dead are often helpful, sometimes needy, but mostly difficult. Introducing the adventures and misadventures of Margaret Blackwell and her spirit boards and family heirlooms as she attempts to solve the mysteries of her supernatural ancestry. Got it, right? Short and sweet. It's a girl dealing with the dead, trying to figure out her roots, basically. Thank you so much for joining me on this. Are we going to call it a vlog? It's not necessarily a vlog type of series, but it's a vloggy-ish. Thank you for joining me for this 100 Days of Making Comics. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you enjoy the content, enjoy the book, etc., etc. If you are an independent comic creator yourself, do let me know down in the comments below, because I'd be interested in chit-chatting, just talking shop with you. And if you are on Webtoon or Tapas, do let me know. The Harlequin glass is available on both of those platforms, so maybe we can follow each other and chit-chat on those platforms too. Thank you once again, and I'm taking off. Take a look down below for purchasing links for the book and to my social media. I will see you next week.